Hello trick-or-treaters and welcome back to my channel, TrickrTreatTarot, where it is spooky season all year long. If you like Halloween or Samhain, then this is definitely the channel for you, where I do spooky themed tarot pick-a-card readings and other spiritual related videos just like this one. So if that's your jam, make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up. Please do consider subscribing to the channel, and while you are subscribing, make sure you hit that post bell notification button so you stay updated and you do not miss out when I post new spooktacular videos just like this one every week. Alright you guys, so today we are doing something a little bit different. You guys know that I love trying new things on this channel, so we're gonna go ahead and try our hands at doing a little bit of a deck review. I've never done that before. This is definitely a first for us on this channel, but if you like this video, comment down below and let me know, and I can make this a regular thing for us as part of our kind of hangout trick or treat talk series, okay? So today we are going to be reviewing the new Disney Hocus Pocus official tarot deck. Okay, you guys. So I'm actually really excited for this deck because I am such a fan of the Hocus Pocus movie, and I am so excited for the new Hocus Pocus Part 2 that's going to be coming out for us as well. So definitely that is something to look forward to. I may even do a review on that movie as a video where we can kind of all get together and just chit chat our thoughts, our opinions about the movie, how it correlates to the original film, what are our likes, our dislikes, criticisms, you know, all the good stuff, you guys. So comment down below if that's something that you're interested in seeing, and that is also something that I can think about doing as well. Anyway, side note, you guys, let's get back to why we're actually here, which is to review the Hocus Pocus deck. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get into it, you guys. You're not going to see me in this video. I did want to make sure that we had a nice close-up view of the actual deck, so that way we can kind of talk about the deck. The deck is the star here, not me, so we're going to get nice and close up with that. We're going to do a flip through, go through all the different cards, and just kind of talk about some stuff, you guys. So if I miss anything that you want to know, or any questions that you have about decks during deck reviews, also add those in the comments, so that way I can make sure if I do another deck review, which I'm thinking of doing, I think I'm going to do deck reviews on all the sort of new spooky decks that I've added to my collection for the Halloween season. So comment down below, so that way when I do more deck reviews, I know which answer or which questions that you guys really want answered, or what sort of things you really want to know, or what would you really like to see. Okay, so let's get into it, you guys. So first of all, let's talk about this box, you guys. So the box, I really love these boxes because they make for really good storage. So I know that I can put the box back in here. The box is nice and sturdy. It's not gonna go anywhere. I know that this is something that I could put the deck back in it. I can put it on a shelf, or I can put it in like a little box or storage case, and I know that the cards are going to be safe in this box. Okay, so I'm a big fan of these boxes. I think that they hold the cards very well, and I think they're nice and protective. So that's my opinion of that. Let's talk about the artwork too, you guys. So actually, I'm almost certain that the same artist who did this deck, whose name should also be on the box. Okay, yeah, so the book was written by Minerva Siegel and Tori Schaefer, and it was illustrated by Dread. Interesting. So I don't know for certain, but I'm almost certain that this is the same illustrator who did the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot, because the artwork looks oddly similar to the same artwork that we saw on the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot as well. And they're both Disney decks, so it's quite possible that they could have commissioned the same artist because they have already worked with perhaps that same person on the other deck. But again, I'm not 100% certain. I'd actually have to run and grab the deck in order to know. But the artwork just looks familiar, so it just gives me the same vibes, you guys. Okay. And it says that it is the official deck, so this is not a spoof or anything like that. It's official to Disney, licensed by Disney. As you guys see, it has the Disney logo here. And then this is by, what is it called? Insight Editions, okay, which I'm assuming is the production company. Yeah, Insight Editions, or not the production company, but the publishing company. There you go. Excuse me. And then it says it includes fully illustrated 78 card deck and a 128 page guidebook. Bring a touch of witchcraft into your tarot practice with this official tarot deck inspired by Disney's classic film Hocus Pocus, featuring beautiful original illustrations of Max and Danny Dennison, the Sanderson sisters, Thackeray Binks, and many more as classic tarot characters. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's open the box and let's get into it, you guys. And yes, in case you're wondering, I have already opened the box when I unpackaged it, and I've already looked at all the cards and the guidebook and everything. So you guys aren't really going to get my initial first impression because I've already I was so excited when it arrived. I actually ordered this deck off of Amazon, which is where I really get the majority of my decks. I get them from Amazon. So this was an Amazon purchase. And as soon as it arrived, I was so excited. I just ripped open the packaging like a kid in Christmas. And I got right into it, flipped through all the cards, looked at all the artwork and everything. So I already kind of have an idea of this deck. But for a lot of you guys watching this, I'm sure this is probably maybe the first time you've seen it. I could be wrong. For some of you guys, maybe you've already seen it. Some of you guys, maybe you own this deck already too. And you just kind of are watching it maybe to see if our opinions match up or anything like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's keep going, you guys. So we have this cute little pull tab, which gives us the book. So we will look at the book first. We'll kind of put the cards over here. And we'll get into the book. Okay, book. You guys know, I actually, now that I'm saying that, I almost wish that the guidebook was book. Wouldn't that have been so cool, you guys, if they would have made the spell book from Hocus Pocus, like the cover art of the guidebook? That would have been awesome. I would have loved that. Okay. Yeah, they missed the mark there, I guess, because that was an opportunity. So we got the Hocus Pocus tarot deck and guidebook. Okay. So we have our table of contents, an introduction, Dead Man's Toe and Oil of Boil, New and Pox and Cauldron Broil. Into this deck shall you peer for present, past, and future near. Oh, I love that. What a cute little spell rhyme they have in the beginning there. Okay, and then we have the Understanding Your Tarot deck, a couple of the card illustrations. And then it goes into the cards. And then we have the majors. Talks about the Fool. We have upright and reversed meanings. And then all the majors. It's still going. More majors. The Star, Judgment. Okay, here we go. And then it goes into the minors, right? We end off with the World. Yeah, end off with the World. And then we start again with the Minor Arcana. And then it goes into the different suits. So we see that they've changed the suits. We have the suit of Candles first, which I'm assuming is the suit of Wands. The Fire Elemental. Does it tell us? Because I'm making that assumption, but does it say? No, it doesn't say, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory that the suit of Candles is going to be the suit of Wands. That has the different cards. So every page, each card has its own page, which I really like. I love that the whole guidebook is in color too, you guys. I love a colored guidebook. I just, I don't know. I just love colors, you guys. So colored guidebook is always a plus for me. I lost my train of thought. What was I doing? I was looking at the candles as wands. Okay, and then after that we have pumpkins. So after the candles we have pumpkins, which I'm assuming is pentacles. And then after the suit of pumpkins, what are our other suits? We have lightning, which I'm assuming is swords. And then potions would make sense to be cups, the suit of cups. Okay, so I feel like the suits are pretty self-explanatory. That's just what I'm getting from these decks. I don't mind, you guys. I will say it doesn't bother me when decks change the suits, because for the most part, I feel like the suits are pretty self-explanatory when they change them. And it just, I don't know, like I know some people have a problem when they change the suits. They did the same thing with the Nightmare Before Tarot deck. They changed the suits up, and I believe that it was like presents, and they had needles, and they had potions as well. And I can't remember what the other one was. It was potions, needles, presents, and something else. Oh, it was actually candles too, now that I'm thinking of it. It was candles. So yeah, so I see that they have two of the suits are the same. Potions and candles is the same as the Nightmare Before Christmas. But I don't mind, you guys. I actually think it's really fun when they change up the suits, and when they make the suits to correlate with the theme of the movie or TV show or whatever it is, the theme of the deck. When they make the suits correlate with that theme, I actually find it to be really enjoyable and really fun, and it does not bother me at all. Because at the end of the day, changing the name of the suit, it's not changing the suit. It doesn't change the meaning of the card. The meaning still stays the same. So that's why it doesn't bother me too much. So after we do the minor arcana, then it goes into tarot readings, which I guess it just gives you some basic instructions about reading tarot. So it says there's a little magic in everything we do. And then it talks about caring for your deck. So this is normal little white book sort of instructions template. Every tarot book kind of follows the same format, and it's basically to help any new beginner reader. And it just covers all the basics. So just caring for your deck, potential ways to prepare for a tarot reading, some different spreads that you could do. The spreads are always fun because sometimes when they're themed like this, they can get really creative. Like we have a 3-card spread here. They're calling it Wisdom of Witches. I feel like they should have called it like Sanderson Sisters or something, because there's 3 of them. So it would be like Winnie, Sarah, and Mary as like the 3 sisters in the spread here. Let's see what other spreads they included. But there's always going to be a 3-card spread. We got like a Celtic Cross. They're calling it the Cat's Eye. And then what do we have here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 card spread. They're calling it Hocus Pocus. And those are all the spreads that they gave us. You're always going to get a 3-card, and you're always going to get some form of a Celtic Cross in a booklet. They're always going to give you that, and then you'll get maybe some unusual sort of looking spread as well. I feel like spreads, you could really use any spread. You can make your own spreads. Spreads are just really fun to get creative with, I think. And for everyone, it's going to be a little bit different. And then it talks about the authors, and it talks about the artists. I think it's interesting that they have 2 authors for this book. I'm not really sure why it took 2 people to write this book, because number 1, it's a small booklet, and number 2, they're getting basically 2 different people's insights on the tarot. I feel like they're following the Rider-Waite-Smith style or format of reading tarot. Let's see, it has the sun, and it says, just as the morning sun brings the end of the Sanderson sisters and saves Salem from their dark magic, you have found salvation after a long journey. Look forward to victories and well-earned achievements. Know that this happy ending is a direct result of your hard work and dedication. Now, I wouldn't call the sun an ending card, which is interesting that they mentioned that here, although I do appreciate how they are referencing scenes from the movie in the descriptions of the meanings of the cards, because that would help someone gain more inspiration on how to read the card based on their knowledge of the movie and the specific scenes that are mentioned. I don't know if I necessarily agree with everything that was stated in this upright description, but again, to each his own. Everyone reads a little bit differently. I'm assuming because they had two different authors that maybe one of them wrote the minors and another person maybe wrote the majors, or maybe someone just wrote the information of the cards and then the other person did the other stuff like preparing for a reading and how to read and stuff like that. It's unclear which author wrote which parts because that's not stated in the book. But apparently they had two authors. Okay. And then a little bit about the artist, Dread, which I think is a fabulous name. Or is it Dre D? Who knows? But yeah, so that's the book. I really do appreciate, I will let it be known that I do appreciate the fact that they have included upright and reversed meanings, because I know that sometimes they only do like one meaning, the upright meaning of the card, and not every book includes the reversed meanings because not everybody reads reversals. But I do think that reading reversals is important personally to me in my practice and how I read tarot. So I do appreciate that they at least give the person the option, because we all have the option to read upright only or to read reversals. And so this way, if there is a beginner person who bought this deck as their first deck and is unsure how to read the cards, then at least now they have a little bit of information about reversed meanings in cards. So that way, if they so choose to read reversals, they have a little bit more guidance in that area as well, instead of just having the upright versions and then trying to figure out the reversals for themselves, which I guess is okay too, because ultimately we all read with our intuition. Personally for me, I don't read these books. I flip through them and I'm like, oh wow, they're so pretty, look at how the colors of the cards and stuff, and then I kind of like toss it to the side and never look at it again. But that's just me. Some people live and breathe off of the books that come with the decks, and other people like myself just don't need it, don't really care for it. I mean, I appreciate the work that goes into it, and I appreciate the art and all the time, effort, and energy, but ultimately it's just something that I don't necessarily need, because I am a bit of a veteran reader. I've been reading for years and I already have my own style of reading and have my own understanding and relationship with the cards and what the cards mean to me and my own interpretations. So I don't necessarily need the interpretations of others. Occasionally what will interest me sometimes is just the beginning portions of a book where they will talk about, where is it, like an introduction to the deck. So like where it says understanding your tarot deck, and well, this one doesn't really have that section, but sometimes they will have like a portion in the beginning of the deck that kind of talks about why the author made the deck, or what was their connection to the tarot, or something like that. Then perhaps I will read that section, but I don't necessarily read the explanations of the cards or anything like that. I more so am interested in how the author or illustrator relates personally to tarot as a whole, if that makes sense, because that's sort of an energy that resonates with the deck itself. Okay. Anyway, that's enough of that. So that's kind of the guidebook. I didn't mean to go off on that too much, but we'll put that to the side for now. And let's go ahead and let's get into the cards, you guys. So again, we have this little pull tab that's going to help us kind of take the cards out of their little pocket there. So we're just going to grab that. And then they have like a little candle on the inside. I always love a little inside artwork. That's always fun when we do boxes. So we'll kind of put that to the side now. And I will mention that the backs of these decks don't excite me, you guys. They don't excite me. They give away two if you have them all together. if one's reversed or not. You can kind of see that. Again, that doesn't really bother me because I feel like if you can tell if it's reversed when the card is facing down, it really doesn't matter because when you pick it up, it's still going to be reversed anyway. So I know some people have a hard time with backs that are not reversible. Personally, for me, it doesn't make a difference if a card's upright or if a card's reversed. The back of the card doesn't matter because that's not the part you're reading, it's the front of the card. So if it's, you know, the pictures on the front of the card aren't made to be reversed unless it's a Marseille style, then those are a different story. But Rider-Waite style technically usually doesn't follow that format, so the backs I don't think need to either. But that's just my own personal opinion. Going with my personal opinion as well, I will say that the backs of the cards were book. I just think that would have been such a more fun of an option to utilize I don't even know what this like floating light flower petal situation is. I don't know. I'm kind of confused, you guys. You guys probably can see it. But I don't know. I just, the backs are just kind of boring. I wish they would have made it like book or something more exciting. It's not giving me witchy. It's not giving me Hocus Pocus vibes. It's just, she's a little boring. She's a little snoozy. I will say that the cardstock too isn't like fabulous. I mean, I'm honestly not that picky about cardstock. I don't handle my decks like super rough. I think that it's gonna shuffle very nicely because it is like very pliable. But it also, because it is very pliable, I know that you could, if you're a rough shuffler, like you could easily bend this card like real easily. So the cardstock, it's not like super thick or anything like that. I do appreciate this sort of flower petal matte finish. It's not super matte. It's kind of a soft rose petal finish. They do scuff and scratch though when they have this finish. Like I'm looking at this card now, when the light hits it a certain way, you can kind of see that there are already some scratches on the back of it. Again, that's not like a total deal breaker for me because yeah, I'm going to use the cards. They're going to get bent. They're going to get scratched. They're going to get scuffed. They're going to get frayed around the edges. That's called love, you guys. Like you're using your deck, so it's going to show wear and tear, as does everything when you use it. So again, that doesn't like super bother me. I just feel like that's normal and comes with the territory. I will say what does bother me a little bit is the fact that Disney is such a it's such a known name and such a big popular brand and so wealthy that I would just think that they would put a little bit more love into their decks because they have the money to do so. And they charge their decks aren't cheap. I mean, they're anywhere between, about $25 to $30. Actually, I would say maybe between $20 and $30, 20 being on the lower side, 30 being on the higher side. But I just feel like they could put a little bit more love into their decks. I think that they could have put, some better quality cardstock. Again, it's not terrible, but it is a little, she's a little weak. But, I'm not mad at it. I don't hate it. Really, what I would like to see is a gilding around the edges. I am a sucker for gilded edges, you guys, or color around the edges. It don't even have to be gilded. It doesn't have to be, a shiny metallic finish, but I would have loved if they would have given me purple edges around it or something like that. I just feel like it's all about the finishing touches. And I think that Disney is such a magical company that I just wish they would put a little bit more magic into their tarot decks to just make them feel a little bit more special. Because for me, this is, doesn't feel like there's a difference between a Disney tarot deck and a Llewellyn tarot deck. It you can't really tell the difference. And I wish that you could, okay? So I just wish that Disney would put a little bit more love into their tarot as merchandise. But that's just my own opinion. But let's go ahead, let's get into the cards themselves, you guys. So I am gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a quick flip through of the cards, and I might have some commentary of the cards as I flip through them. I don't know, maybe some of you guys are like, nah, just shut up and go through the pictures. That's all I want to see. And others of you, maybe you want to hear me talk. Maybe you just like hearing the sound of my voice. I don't know. But we have the Fool as Max Dennison. I can already tell, lighting the black flame candle, which I think is an iconic scene, and I think captures the Fool card actually extremely well. So I love that. And then we have the Magician, which is Winifred Sanderson and the infamous book. So that again is an awesome image. Love her for that. The High Priestess is Sarah Sanderson, and then she has the little children that she's singing to. She's on her broomstick. I actually think this is a beautiful image. I love this picture. And then we have the Empress. I would have thought that because they did the Magician and the High Priestess, that the Empress maybe would have been like Mary Sanderson or something like that. For me, this is looking like a mom with a camera. I mean, I get it, like a mom as an Empress. But I feel like the Empress card doesn't have to be the mom card all the time. You know, I just feel like there's more facets to the Empress as an archetype than just being a mother. You know, there's a lot that has to do with abundance and prosperity as well, and manifestation, and of course fertility, which is why it's always associated with mother energy. And I get it, but like, does the mom really have to look like a mom? They couldn't even have given us the mom in the Madonna outfit. Iconic look there. Okay, but they give us the dad in the dadcula. We got the regular mom, but then we got the cool dad. Come on, you guys. Like, I feel like that's a little shady. They did the mom a little dirty. I don't know. And then we have the Emperor as the dad. So I get it. The mom and the dad. The Emperor and the Empress. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I don't hate it. I love the Hierophant as the book. I love it. I love that they did that. I think it's fabulous. The Lovers, which is, of course, this is right out of the movie 555914227. When he gives her his phone number, Max, and shoot, I can't remember her name. What was her name? Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy, you guys. Allison. Okay, I remembered. Okay, then we have the Chariot as Mary, which I'm not mad at it either, because obviously iconic with her on her vacuum cleaner. But I almost wish that they would have given us brooms as the Chariot, because I just feel like that's classic witchy. You know, and they had the brooms first, and then they could have utilized Mary as, you know, like I said, maybe another major, but I don't hate it. Her as a Chariot, I think it's funny. Everyone loves, you know, Mary on the broom. It's comedic relief at its finest. I love Danny as the Strength card too, because she in the movie is just such a sassy pants, you guys. So I love that they made her as the Strength card, because she does not have a problem speaking her mind and telling you exactly how she feels and standing up to bullies, which is exactly what she's doing in this scene. She's standing up to the two bullies in the movie. The Hermit is Billy coming out of his grave. I think that's beautiful. I love that. It's so funny. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is the Ring of Salt, which is an interesting depiction. I wouldn't have thought of that as being the Wheel of Fortune, but I think it's quite fitting because we do have that circular wheel feel. So I'm not mad at it. Justice is the Sanderson sisters and the angry mob. Who really got justice here, though? But isn't that what the Justice card is all about? Who's you know, the winner, who's the victim, who's really getting the justice here, you know? Suspension. Now, so I will be honest. I don't mind when they change the names of the suits. However, it does bother me a little bit when they start to change the names of the cards. So instead of the Hanged Man, they're calling this Suspension. And the reason this starts to bother me is because they won't change the names of all the majors. They will only do it to the majors that they feel are negative, you know, that have negative connotations. So they'll usually change the names of like the Hanged Man. They'll change the name of the Death card. They'll change the name of the Devil. You know, they'll do things like that because everyone becomes scared of those cards because they don't like the names of it. And I just feel like if you are scared of the card and you're scared of the name and you feel like it's followed with negative connotation, then maybe you just shouldn't be reading tarot. Don't do it if it scares you. You know, I mean, that's just my opinion. I know this can get real controversial real quick, so I'm just gonna end it there. But I don't know, that bothers me because I just feel like life is full of all different facets, and not all of the facets of life are positive, love, and light. Okay, life is struggle. Life is about being courageous and overcoming obstacles. And in order to foresee that in the tarot, you have to have cards that signify obstacles. And that's on period, but I'll just leave that alone, you guys. And then we have transformation, which is death, which is what we just talked about. But I don't hate it. We all know death as transformation anyways, really what the card represents. I do like it as them turning Thackeray into the cat. That I think is a excellent depiction of transformation or of death, where they killed him by giving him a new form of immortality, and it was a new beginning almost for him. It was an ending and a beginning. Essentially life is immortal, where it's just kind of that constant transformation where he went from being a human to being a cat to being a ghost, you know. So I can see it. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I don't always love when they change the names of the cards, but it's okay. We'll roll with it. And then we have Allison as Temperance because she's kind of the level-headed one, I guess. The Master. I think this is really funny. I don't always appreciate it when they change the name of the Devil card, which this is clearly supposed to be the Devil. I think it's an excellent depiction of the Devil, and I love that they call him the Master because those of you who are familiar with the movie, when the Sandersons sisters meet this gentleman, they call him Master because he's in costume as the devil being their master because they're witches. Ha ha ha. I get it. It's funny. It's a play on the movie. I don't hate it. I think it's really cheeky. And then we have the Tower as the witch's cottage. There's no like lightning. There's no disaster. But I feel like it speaks for itself, where we know that the Tower card could talk about potential struggles, maybe not necessarily disasters, but we know that there's reference to an obstacle with the Tower card, and with this being the witch's cottage, we know that is definitely an obstacle. That's kind of where everything went down, where the witches were resurrected. That's where they are staying. You know, there's a lot of bad juju up in this place here, so I love that as the Tower, honestly. And then we have the star. I think her name was Annie, if I remember correctly, which was Thackeray's sister, whose life was sucked out of her body and into the witches to give them youth. So I find her quite interesting to be the depiction of the star card, but I get it because she was sort of this glowing ethereal creature after she drank the potion, so I'm not mad at it. And then we have Mary again, Miss Mary as the moon. So, and then we have some trick-or-treaters here, it seems. And then the sun card where she turned to stone as the sun was rising. I think this is a lovely depiction of the sun. So I can see here that the cards too, they're not really following classic Rider-Waite style Smith sort of drawings and illustrations where they don't incorporate the symbolism. So I am seeing that there is that, which is fine, I guess, because the Nightmare Before Christmas didn't either, and I'm seeing that this is very similar to that same deck. Oh, I'm sorry, Judgment. This is Judgment, the graveyard. You know, it's Judgment. It's very classic Judgment sort of feel with the graveyard. There's no zombies coming out though, but you know. And then we have the world. So I actually really appreciate the world where Thackeray is reunited with his sister. And it's sort of that completion energy at the end of the movie. And again, we see him as his third transformation. We talked about that earlier where he was the human, then he became the cat, then he became the ghost, you know, and the world really is a symbolization of completion and new transformation as well, where we see that there is again an ending and a beginning that's sort of happening in this aspect. And it kind of takes us through that eternal wheel of life. And then we go through the minors. I'm going to kind of go through the minors quickly, you guys, because there isn't really much to the minors. We have Billy as the king of potions. We have the teacher as the queen of potions. I think that's interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that. Knight of Potions isn't even a person. It's just the Sanderson sisters holding a potion. The Page of Potions is Thackeray. See, I would think he would be more like the knight because he's pointing, you know, he's like, look, there, the sisters conjure, you know, that whole scene situation. And then, you know, he charges after to go find his sister. That's a very knightly move. He's going after, you know, to help someone who he loves, who he cares for. So obviously that's a trait of a character from, you know, a court card from the Suit of Cups is emotional attachments, which is clearly Thackeray. And so I feel like he should have really been the Knight of Potions, charging onward to save his sister, not some hands holding a potion. I mean, if anything, that should have been the page, but this isn't even a person. So I'm kind of confused as this card as a court card. It's confusing me. And then we have the Ace of Potions, where it's just one potion, and then the Two of Potions is two potions. So this is where it kind of gets like a little boring. I mean, I don't hate it. I'm not mad at it. There's nothing RWS about it. Again, this starts to fall under more of a Marseille style, where it's just the potions and then they just keep adding the number of potions. But the depictions of the cards have nothing to do with the meanings of the cards. It doesn't bother me. Some people hate this. I've you know, watched many reviews of decks, and you know, I watch a lot of readers and tarot readers on YouTube and stuff, and I know that a lot of people, this bothers them. They call them pip decks, and it doesn't bother me because we don't need the imagery to tell us what the card means. That's what our intuition is for. We read based off of our intuition what the spirits, our spirit guides, what, you know, source is communicating with us, not what the cards are communicating with us. We know the meanings of the cards. We don't need the pictures to tell us what the cards mean. So I feel like pip decks, they don't bother me because I know what the card means. You know, I don't need a specific picture or a specific symbol symbol in the picture to tell me something, because my intuition is going to tell me what I need to know about the particular situation. The card's not going to tell me. My intuition is. The card is simply a tool of assistance to help bring clarity to that sort of information that I'm receiving, but it's not the end all be all of the whole picture of the situation. So that's why it doesn't bother me. Some people, it really bothers them. If it does bother you, I just want you to know that yes, this is a pip deck. It's very similar to the Nightmare Before Christmas deck, which again was more of a pip deck. The art styles in the minor arcanas have absolutely nothing to do with the RWS style. It has nothing to do with what the cards mean in tarot. It's simply just the number of the item on the card. So it's 5 of potions. They're giving us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potions. Okay. I do love how vibrant the colors are. I love the use of the potions. I think it's really whimsical. I like the little spider webs in the background. I think the borders around the cards too are very nice. I have not mentioned the borders. I'm normally not a fan of borders because I just think it takes away from the artwork, and I really appreciate artwork. I am an artist. I do artwork myself, so I appreciate looking at other people's artwork. And when there are borders, I feel like it takes away from that. But when the borders are done in an artistic style, such as this deck, then I feel it adds to the artistry of the deck as a whole. So again, I'm not mad at these borders. I actually really like them because it's done in an artistic style to complement the art on the cards. Okay, so it doesn't take away from it. I actually feel that it adds to it. So let's keep going. 5 of potions. We got the 6 of potions, the 7 of potions, the 8 of potions, the 9 of potions, the 10 of potions, and then we move on to the King of Candles, the Candle Suit, which again, potions was the Suit of Cups, and candles is going to be our Suit of Wands. So we have the King of Wands, who was the singer, if you guys remember, at the dance party, the Halloween party at the town hall. This was sort of the singer that they had, the showman dressed as the skeleton. And then there is Miss Madonna. I wish that they would have used this as the Empress card. I don't know, that would have been more fun for me instead of just the mom, the basic mom in her mom jeans, you know. I wish that this would have been the picture, but you know, okay. You know, we got the Queen of Candles. And then we have the Knight of Candles, which again doesn't make any sense to me at all, because this looks like an Ace of Candles. It's one candle. It's an Ace of Candles. It's not a Knight of Candles. It's an Ace of Candles. So this card particularly is a little confusing to me, but I mean, I don't know why they did that. And then the Page of Candles was Danny. And then the Ace of Candles, you guys, why did they do this? There's literally a person on the Ace of Candles, but on the Knight of Candles, it's just a candle. Can someone help me make sense of this? Because I'm a little confused. This is the Ace, and this is the Knight, the whole court card. And I don't know. Comment down below. Help me understand, you guys, because I don't know. Am I missing something? All right. So Ace of Candles. We got the 2 of Candles. 3 of Candles. 4 of Candles. 5 of Candles. 6 of Candles. 7 of Candles. 8 of candles, 9 of candles, 10 of candles, and then we move on to the King of Pumpkins. So the pumpkins, again, I'm assuming is the suit of Pentacles. The candles, I'm assuming, was the suit of Wands. So now we're at the Pentacle suit. So the King of Pentacles is a house. A house. The King is a house. Okay. A person as a house. I mean, go off, sis. Whatever your interpretation is, I guess. And then the Queen. And then I always like the court cards like as a whole. So sometimes like I'll compare them. When I first was learning tarot, I used to lay out the court cards because that was one of the hardest parts for me to really get in touch with, was the court cards. And so I would lay them out and I would see how they sort of communicated with each other. How were they a family? Because when you look at a court system, you know, for me, it's almost like they're all related. They're from the same family. And how were they similar and how are they different? And when I look at these cards, I'm like, that doesn't make sense for me to go speed dating with my court cards when one of them isn't even a person. It's a house. So this is my Queen who's married to this house. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, is this her house? No, actually, I think this is Max Dennison. This actually looks like the Dennison's house, and this is Allison. So if this was Allison's house, then I feel like maybe I can kind of see it. Maybe I can kind of get on board with that. But I actually think this is the Dennison's house, because this little top area here is supposed to be Max's room. I remember he had the room all the way on the top, and then there was that whole scene where the sisters got Danny, and then they literally destroyed the whole house, like the whole roof, and like blew a hole in it and went riding off into the moonlight with Danny and carried her away. So I feel like this is the Dennison's house. And then this is Allison. I don't know, you guys. I'm confused. Why can't we just get a person for the court cards instead of places? I don't know. And then we have the Knight of Pumpkins, the bully. And then we have the Page of Pumpkins, which is a bunch of trick-or-treaters. It's many pages. Okay. I mean, I don't hate this depiction of a lot of people, of it being all the trick-or-treaters. Yeah, it's okay. I don't hate it. At least we got people on that card. And then we have the Ace of Pumpkins. This is cute. I love a whole, like, pumpkin head situation. I'm obsessed. And then we have the Two of Pumpkins. I just love pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns. It's my jam, you guys. Anything that's like trick-or-treat candy related, I live for it. So I think I'm going to be really biased towards this suits in particular. The Three of Pumpkins. I love this. Oh my god. All the different faces. It's so cute. Oh my god, this one too. The Four of Pumpkins. All the different patterns. The Five of Pumpkins. I love that they're all like pumpkin carvings. It's so cute. The Six of Pumpkins. They're like little lollipops. Cake pops, maybe. Seven of Pumpkins is so cute. Like in the little candy wrappers. The Eight of Pumpkins. The Nine of Pumpkins. And the 10 of Pumpkins. All right, so that was the suit of pumpkins or the suit of pentacles. Now we're moving on to the suit of lightning, which could also be the suit of swords. So we have the King of Swords, which is Danny. Or I'm sorry, not Danny, Max Dennison. And then the Queen of Swords. Girl, I don't even know who this is. Oh my god. Take your Clark bars and get out of my face. Oh, so this is actually the devil's wife. I remember with the Clark bars. The chocolate covered fingers of a man named Clark. Oh my god, you guys. Comment down below if you remember that scene. I love that. Okay. Sorry if I shake the camera, you guys. My tripod it's on the table as I'm trying to film and it's not really steady. And then we have the Knight of Swords, the bus driver. Interesting. You see, I thought he would have been more of like maybe even a Knight of Potions because he was basically like in love with the Sanderson sisters, Sarah Sanderson in particular. So, you know, because there's a little bit of that courtship romanticism, you know, even a little sexual sort of connotation there, I would have thought that maybe he could have been a good reference as a cups or maybe even a wands court card, but I don't necessarily think he fits in well with the sword with the suit of swords or lightning as they're calling it here. But I mean, to each his own. That's just my own opinion. And then we have the Page of Lightning, which again is the bullies, which is Ernie and Ice. Yeah, his name was Ice and Ernie, or was it Ernie and then he changed it to Ice? I don't remember. And then the Ace of Lightnings, which of course, lightning, I understand this as the suit too, because Winifred Sanderson has that power of electricity. So that's where we get the lightning sparks coming out of her hands. The Two of Lightning, the Three of Lightning, the Four of Lightning, the Five of Lightning, the Six of Lightning, the Seven of Lightning, the Eight of Lightning, the Nine of Lightning, and the 10 of Lightning. All right, so that's the suits of lightnings. Yeah, just kind of looking at it. Personally, I think for me the lightning is the most boring suit, which is sad because the suit of swords is usually my favorite suit in a tarot deck, but in this one particularly I just think it's the most dull and the least interesting to look at, as Kim Kardashian once said. Yeah, so that's just how I feel about that. Other than that, you guys, I mean, I think the artwork is stunning. I think it's beautiful. I love the colors, the vibrance. I love the scenes and depictions of the movies, where they are included. Of course, I do have, my own opinions about certain cards and certain aspects of the deck that for me personally just doesn't maybe resonate, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't ruin the deck. I still really like the deck. I'm still going to use the deck because I am such a fan of the movie. And of course, this is Trick or Treat Tarot. So who would I be if I didn't use more Halloween spooky themed decks on this channel, you guys? We cannot stop adding to our spooky Halloween tarot deck collection, which I actually might even do a video. Comment down below and let me know if you guys are interested in seeing my tarot deck collection. It is literally all spooky decks. Well, I don't want to say all, but the majority of them are spooky decks, with a few odd guys that aren't necessarily spooky, but the majority of them are. So just comment down below and let me know if maybe that's something that you guys are interested in seeing as well. Then I can share with you guys my deck collection, or maybe just my spooky deck collection, which is basically my whole deck collection anyway. I would love to share that with you guys. But yeah, I do recommend this deck. I think it's beautiful. If you're a big fan of Hocus Pocus, I definitely think you should go out and buy it. I don't have any real issues with the deck. I will go ahead and give you guys a sample shuffle of the deck just so that way you can see how it shuffles. I know it's going to shuffle beautifully. Oops. Yeah, for the most part, it shuffles quite nicely, I will say. Do another one. Yeah, the cards stick together just a little bit, but you just got to break it in, that's why. So they are sticking a tad, but you just got to break the deck in. You know, I just feel like it's like buying a new pair of shoes. It's not going to fit right the first few times. You got to wear it down a little bit before you get it just right. So it doesn't bother me. I think it's fine. You know, you could do the overhand. Again, the cards are kind of sticking, so they stick together a little bit, even doing the overhand shuffling like that. But it doesn't bother me. It feels okay. I don't think you can fan these out. Like if you wanted to fan, oh, actually, maybe you can. Again, they're still kind of sticking together because they're new. But after you wear it down and give it a few shuffles, you know, it should be fine. Really, you guys, it should be. I don't have any troubles with my Nightmare Before Christmas, which is almost the exact same deck. It's the same texture, card stock, you know, that sort of. Oh, see, I just picked this card up and it's actually two of them together. So you kind of like, you just gotta wear them down a little bit, but they do stick. They are sticking, and it does make it a little challenging, but that will, again, like I said, that won't last forever. It'll eventually be okay. All right, you guys, so that is our oh, look at that, 10 of Cups. Love to see her. Okay, so that is our sort of interpretation, our thoughts, our opinions, our deck review of the Hocus Pocus official tarot deck and guidebook. So comment down below, let me know how you guys like this video, you guys. If you did like the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel if you aren't already subscribed, and don't forget to hit that post bell notification button so you stay updated and you do not miss out when I post new spooktacular videos every week, just like this one, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I just thought this was something that maybe we could do, something that's new, that maybe could be fun, maybe even relaxing. This is just kind of one of those videos that you could just sit down with a cup of tea, relax, and hang out with me, and we could just vibe out together. I would love to know your thoughts and your opinions on this deck as well. So go ahead, comment down below and let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear your thoughts as well. You know, you guys are watching this to hear mine, but I'm also super interested to know yours, okay? And talk to each other in the comments as well. You know, if you guys have something in common, something that you both really love about the deck, you know, something maybe that I missed, to let me know as well, okay? Also, don't forget to share this video. You guys share this video and all of my videos with your friends, family, and loved ones that you feel can benefit from the messages and the reviews, and maybe even just my uplifting personality, okay? Yeah, so that would just really help my channel grow, you guys. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to spread my wings, so I would really just appreciate it if you guys helped me in that area as well, because I can't do it without ya, okay? So thank you again so much for taking the time out of your day to click on this video, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. It has been such an absolute pleasure, you guys. If you want to keep seeing more deck reviews, let me know and I will keep doing those for you. But until the next one, keep it creepy, you guys, okay? Bye, you guys.